Freedom makes me happy. I was happy to live in a home with mommy and daddy. Every day I get to play with Rajani in front of my house. Sometimes I get to travel around the block on the bus at night. Feeling the night breeze was the most wonderful feeling, and it made me very happy. One Sunday night, I was forced into a van by two men. They trafficked me miles and miles away from home. I was locked in a dark room with Adrika and other girls for 2 months. Every night I saw a different man and was left with nothing but a plastic coin placed in my hand. I was moved 4 times to different brothels in a month. I was beaten up and locked up in a room whenever I refused to obey them. Adrika seems fine in the daytime, helping out with laundry and cooking. But sometimes I heard her crying underneath the blanket in the early morning. I didn't feel happy anymore. I wanted somebody to help us. One day, someone gave me a name card from the Exodus Road. A nice person named Sudhir promised to save me within 24 hours, as I knew I would be moved again. This was my only chance. I took a few photos of the other girls and some outside the window. And then I waited, and I waited, and waited.
On 13th of May 2017, Sudhir's team conducted the raid with police and saved Tanjia. 4 traffickers were arrested and 4 more victims were saved, one of the girls being as young as 14 years old. Tanjia finally saw her parents. Our work does not end here. India alone has 18.3 million people living in modern slavery, including bonded labor, forced marriage, and commercial sexual exploitation. 45.8 million people are in some form of modern slavery in the other 167 countries. And it is not far from us. Hong Kong, Singapore, and Malaysia are on the Tier 2 watch list. Until now, the government prosecuted only 5 cases of labor exploitation with indicators of trafficking, which is an extremely low number of victims when compared to the known scale of the problem, and charged unidentified victims such as foreign domestic workers and forced sex labor. In Singapore, large numbers of migrant workers experience conditions indicative of labor trafficking, such as psychological coercion and subjection to punishment or deportation. Authorities did not effectively identify victims and has yet to secure the conviction of a labor trafficker under the trafficking law. In Malaysia, of the 1,558 victims identified, the government conducted only 106 risk assessments and ultimately granted 6 victims work visas and 12 special immigration passes for freedom of movement. Complicities in the form of bureaucratic delays and bribery hampered anti-trafficking efforts. You can help by running in the 24-hour races. By meeting the fundraising goal of $100,000 of Operation 24 by the 24-hour race participants, the Exodus Road will train and equip at least 24 national or local law enforcement officers who will rescue survivors and arrest traffickers, investigate at least 2,400 locations believed to house victims and traffickers, and log at least 24,000 hours of investigations in an effort to support the rescue of victims and arrest traffickers. We won't stop until the world is free from slavery. Join us.